What's up, everybody? Here's another episode of Confessions of a Real Estate Agent with none other than Lester Escoto, who is a member of the Dustin Feely Group here at Kerr's Real Estate. Stay tuned because you're going to fucking love this. What's up, everybody? Right back here with Lester. What's going on, brother? Thank you for doing this. So I just want to point out, Confessions of a Real Estate Agent. Do you know the questions that I'm going to ask you?
I do not.
Absolutely not. And that's what makes this particular episode so amazing, and this show so amazing, is that we pull real estate professionals like Lester, and we bring them in so that they can tell the truth about what's going on and not just make shit up before they get here, right? So another great thing is that Lester had no idea who's going to be doing this today. And I had 2 cancellations today, so I walked into his office and asked him if he would do this with me, and he proudly accepted. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
All right, so number one question. What
Okay.
made you get into real estate?
What made me get into real estate? I think it was something that was already just on my long-term plan.
Okay.
I actually ended up getting into it sooner than I thought I was going to get into, since the end game for me is development.
All right, so your goal is to essentially get your way to developing.
Right.
That's amazing. All right, so what were you doing before real estate?
Right before this, I was doing asset management. So I worked for a company that basically did routine inspections and maintenance for foreclosed homes.
So you were pretty much in the real estate industry as it was.
I've been in the industry for 10 years.
Okay.
So for the first 5 years, I did listing photography.
Okay.
And then following that, I did property management for 5 years.
Okay. So now you're an artist.
Yes.
How do you incorporate art into the business?
It's essential to the way that I do my business, actually. 'Cause I think that what I found is that people will work with somebody that they know and like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just part of my charm, I guess. Like the whole art side of it. So like I'll do my own. I'll do flyers and stuff that are like hand painted. I just recently did an event for the Boys and Girls Club where I contributed some giant 6x4 paintings.
Okay.
So whenever I can, I incorporate that aspect into it.
Do you feel that it's helped you in your marketing and exposure?
Absolutely. I feel like it sets me apart from other agents.
And so that's a really good point that we can get to right away, because most people ask, what can I do to separate myself from the 50,000 plus agents in my neighborhood, right?
Right.
And you just said it. I'm an artist, and I incorporate it into my business.
Yep.
Okay. Do you feel that you see artists coming to you for real estate help, or do you find art lovers are finding a way to you just because of your creative personality?
I think both, since most of my business is people that I've already known for years, and they happen to be creative people. I guess the way that I figured is like I personally hate real estate agents. I think they're super cheesy. They're horrible. Like that whole like cross arm thing. Like I can't stand it. And the people that I work with, I feel the same way. Like they've avoided getting into the market. Part of it is because they don't want to deal with a real estate agent.
Okay.
So that's where I come in different. I'm just not that dude.
All right. And then so on the flip side of that, where do you see, because art is a passion for you.
Right.
And real estate's a passion for you, obviously, because you want to get to the development level.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see art helping you get there?
That's a good question. I guess I'm still figuring that out, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe in your marketing or something like that?
In the marketing for sure, but it's something that I definitely want to incorporate, especially when I start developing. It's something I want to incorporate public art and give back to the community in that way.
Great. So coming from a place of contribution as well.
Exactly.
All right. Awesome. Did you have real prior sales experience before you got into the sales side of real estate?
I mean, I've been in sales positions like in retail, but
Okay.
I've never been somebody that sells anything. Even now, I don't think of myself as like selling homes.
Okay.
What I do for a buyer, for example, is I facilitate the process for them. So I understand how it works, and I teach them how to get from, seeing a place that they like online to actually owning it. And from a selling point of view, I come from a place of marketing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you're selling, you're a marketer.
Exactly. So I'm just I'm getting the exposure out there, not so much like selling anyone on anything. That's just not how I approach it.
Okay. Amazing. So let's go. Have you had a bad experience in real estate?
Yes.
So
I
what's,
mean,
like, and I mean on the sales or buyer, like, have you had a crazy buyer, crazy seller? Did you walk into some crazy room? Like, what's your craziest experience thus far on the sales side of real estate?
all right, I would say that the worst experience I've had is I helped somebody with a real estate transaction. I'm not going to say what it was so that they
Don't
can't
worry
narrow
about
it
it.
down.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when I was going to help them with something else, I was doing my part, sending them listings. And then after like a couple of weeks of that, they send me a screenshot of them calling another realtor. And when I call them, they don't pick up. So I'm just like, all of a sudden just cut off like that. So I don't know what happened. So that's probably like the worst experience that I've had so far.
Challenges in your first year of real estate. What's been your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is just getting off, like just starting. Because when you first start, you have nothing on the pipeline. There's no prospect of making any money in the beginning. So that's probably the biggest struggle so far. In the beginning anyway. Now things are starting to look up.
Now that you're past that point, what would be the biggest piece of advice you give to somebody in their first year in real estate?
Be persistent and be consistent. You can't do something for a little bit and then if it doesn't work out, just give up on it. That's
Which
not
is
how
what,
it works.
and believe it or not, a lot of experienced agents make that same fucking mistake, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I mean,
know?
I'll talk to
You
people.
see it all day long.
Yeah, people that have been in the industry for years, they'll tell me how they started trying to do something and they just give up on it, but it just doesn't work that way.
You can't do something for 1 or 2 months and then say, you know what, this is not working. And that's if they actually went 1 or 2 months. I've seen people try something for a few days.
Right.
And
yeah,
say,
yeah.
oh, this is not working.
Or
Fuck
they'll do
this.
it once.
I'm going to try the miracle thing. You know,
Right,
I saw
right.
this, I got this email. This is the miracle lead system.
Yep.
Right? And then it's the same thing. If you don't commit to it, it's not going to work. The only way it turns into a miracle is if you actually go find that miracle, right? You keep grinding on it until it actually happens. All right? Would you say you're more of a listing agent or a buyer's agent?
I would say I'm more of a buying agent.
Yeah?
I like that more.
Do you prefer it more?
I like it more because it's like a new beginning for somebody. It's something that's exciting. So far,
That's the art side of you.
it's our side of me, yeah.
Yeah.
So far with listings, what I found, it tends to be a sad situation. At least I've had that luck where it's
It's always somebody who's sad about their sale.
yeah, it's somebody that's sad about their sale, or like it's a very emotional process. It's never been like a champagne closing. It's always been like a kind of somber affair.
What would you say was your luckiest moment in the business thus far?
Not a thing. It's just, this is not a business about luck.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, actually. All right. If you were to fail at this, what would you do?
If I were to fail, I would keep trying. I mean, I've failed a lot already.
Okay.
And the point isn't to how many times you succeed, right? Or rather, it's not about how many times you fail, but it's about how many times you keep trying after that.
Yeah. So you'd be surprised how many people I ask this question and give me another profession.
What do people say?
This just depends.
Oh, like another profession?
Yeah, they give me a whole other profession. Like, well,
Oh,
if
yeah.
real estate doesn't work out for me, I have a bachelor's in this and I'll go get a regular job.
Right, right.
Your answer couldn't have been any more on point. You fail at something, you try again.
Right.
And you try again. You try to perfect it until you succeed at it.
Right.
Right?
Well, yeah, I guess it's because I've already failed so much that...
So it shows everyone who's listening right now, it shows the difference in a personality of someone who's a quitter
Right.
and the difference in a personality of somebody who intends to succeed
Mhm.
or is successful.
Right.
Right?
That's my goal, and I'm going to go for it.
How do you generate the majority of your business?
All through Facebook, Instagram, my sphere of influence. That's 100% of my business.
How often are you on social media?
Constantly.
Yeah?
Like, I'm that guy now. I used to, like, hate people like that, but now I'm that dude constantly on Facebook, constantly commenting on people's stuff, constantly sending messages all day. Like,
So this is the
morning to
difference between
sunrise.
now and how you started. When you started, you weren't that guy.
Right. When I started, I had probably like 50 friends on Facebook. Right now, I have like over 2,000.
That's awesome. All right, so do you think that the market affects your business?
Well, I mean, I've only been in the sales side for a year, but
Okay.
what I know is that things fluctuate. So
Mhm.
even if it's like, if it's a buyer's market, I'll focus on that, I guess, or I'll focus on whatever is happening,
Okay.
right? I know when you got into the industry, it was like a lot of short sales.
It was crazy. No, when I got into the industry, it was at the height of the bubble.
Right.
And then as I continued in the industry, it became the
Right.
crash,
So
the
that's around
short
the time
sale,
when
the
I
REO.
started doing the
Yeah.
photography. Like everyone
Yeah.
was selling their shit. So
Yeah.
oh, can I say shit?
Yeah.
All right. Everyone's selling their shit. So I had a ton of work like doing the photography for the listings, and then after that it dried up, right? But at the time I didn't have any sort of mentors to tell me like how to transition to something else
To something and do something different.
and do something different, right?
Okay. What do you think you're going to have to do to get to the next level?
Just keep going, man.
What is the next level for you?
The next level.
What does that mean to you? Like when I say next level,
Uh-huh.
what does that mean to you?
Well, my next level is I want to get to the point where I'm buying real estate for myself and investing.
That's great.
Yep.
Okay, so personal wealth. You want to develop personal wealth.
Personal wealth. Sure.
Okay, great. Do you feel that you're an aggressive or passive salesperson?
I think I'm kind of aggressive,
Okay.
but I'm also very playful with it. Like for example, I recently took on a listing, right? And I found out that the seller has a cousin that does real estate. So I say to her, all right, let me ask you something. If you were starting a basketball team, would you pick your cousin or Steph Curry? And she says, Steph Curry. So I say, well, I'm motherfucking Steph Curry. Like that's how I approach those sort of things. You know what I mean?
So
like
it's on a more aggressive point.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more aggressive. I think.
Okay. Did you start that way though? Do you feel like maybe you were more passive when you first started?
Yeah, well, my approach is like jab, jab, punch. Is what I tell
Okay.
people. Like, I don't immediately go for the kill. I don't immediately go for the close. I, hint at it first, and then a little more pressing the second time, and then I hit them.
Knock them out. All right. Top 3 things you would advise to a new agent in the industry. Just got my license today. Top 3 tips.
Set up your social media.
Awesome.
Get good headshots. No. Yeah, get good headshots.
Okay. Present yourself well.
Present yourself well, and contact every single person on your phone book. It doesn't matter how long it's been since you talked to them. It doesn't matter if you don't remember them. Just send them a message. Hey, what's up?
All right. Ask for the business.
Ask for the business.
Always ask for the business,
Always ask
right?
for the business.
Okay. If you had any advice for an agent that has been in the industry for a while and feels stuck, what would you say to them? And this
Social
is
media.
you've been in the industry for 1 year.
Yeah.
This is a guy that comes to you 10 years and is like, man, you're doing great. I'm stuck. What can I do different?
I would tell them, I think if they're stuck, it's probably because they're not talking to enough people. So I'll tell them get on social media and make friends. Like talk to everybody, and not just like sell them something. Like don't just send them a message like, hey, you need some real estate. Like just
Create relationships.
create relationship, take an
Find
interest
something
in
in
people.
common.
Exactly.
Right? So we always talk about how to be interesting, but also be interested.
Be interested, right?
Right? So you're saying that if you're interested in what other people are doing,
Mhm.
you can develop relationships.
Exactly.
Okay? And then what do you find those relationships turn into at some point or another?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about coming from a place of contribution, because for a lot of people, real estate is going to be the biggest transaction of their lives.
Okay.
And so if you come from a place where you're going to help them with that, that makes a world of difference than if you're just trying to make your next commission check.
That's awesome. All right, man. Hey, how was this?
That was easy.
It wasn't that hard, was it?
Yeah, I also feel
You
like
were
this
sweating
flew.
balls.
Yeah.
You drank scotch before this.
I feel like I'm still blushing.
and we already made it to the end.
Yeah, that was
That's
nothing.
awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, you have it here. This is Lester Escoto. How can people reach you?
You can call me 646-404-4055. You could hit me up on Facebook, Instagram. I think I have Twitter, but I don't use it. And LinkedIn. They're all Art of Miami RE.
Art of Miami RE. Look for them on social media, all the different platforms. Again, give your phone number again.
My social media is awesome. You should check it out. My phone number is 646-404-4055.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Confessions of a Real Estate Agent. Stay tuned for the next one coming soon.